No mai Haere mai. It's the Huddy Hui. Find Huddy Sports on Instagram and Facebook. huddysports.co.nz. Now let's kōrero.
Kia ora, good evening and welcome to the Huddy Hui, episode 160. Apologies for the delays, folks. We're a little bit delayed connecting with one of our guests tonight. We've actually managed to get him. He's going to be by our audio links. So he's joining us all the way from the UK, and we're going to be talking about the Women's World Cup. So joining me,
apologies for the delays,
is Adam Julian, who is joining me on the broadcast. Adam,
one of our guests.
many thanks for coming on.
We've actually managed to get him. He's going to be.
Kia ora, Brad. It's good to be back on the Huddy Hui, albeit faceless.
All the way from the UK, and we're going to be.
Yeah, sorry about that. We just had a little bit of overlap, but that was my end. So we're all good to go here. Adam, how have you found the Women's World Cup so far over there in the UK? Have the English faithful come out in support of the tournament? Oh, it just appears we've lost Adam then. So hopefully he can still hear me. You there, Adam?
Hello.
Yes, we got you. How have you found the Women's World Cup so far? Have the English come out in support of the tournament?
They absolutely have. The opening game of the tournament, Brad, was at the Stadium of Light in Sunderland. That's typically an English Premier League venue. And England against the USA sold out. There were more people at that game than what there were at the World Cup final between the Black Ferns and England at Eden Park in 2022. And to put the crowd at the Stadium of Light into perspective, there were 45,000 total spectators who attended the Rugby World Cup in 2017. They nearly matched that number on opening night, and there really have been some very colourful crowds right through the World Cup. I was in York for the Black Ferns against Spain. They've just built a community facility up there, capacity 8,000. It was heaving, and the Spanish supporters, despite losing heavily, 54-8, were very evangelical, almost like a football crowd.
Wow, that is amazing. And let's talk about one of the big upsets so far in the tournament was South Africa winning. Of course, South Africa women's team have not been that strong for quite a long time, but that was quite an upset they pulled off round 2 last week against Italy.
It was, Brad. Italy were very impressive at the last World Cup, making the quarterfinals. And unlike their men, who are typically renowned for their rugged and dour forward approach, the Italian women had these sparkling backs, and they really caught a lot of people's eyes. Italy are a regular in the Six Nations. Indeed, they have 3 women who have played 100 or more test matches. South Africa, by contrast, haven't even played 50 test matches yet, but they have had significant improvement in the last 4 years. And the result, although surprising, if you look into South Africa's fortunes against the Black Ferns 15 just prior to the World Cup, then maybe that was a warning that good things were coming for South Africa. They played the Black Ferns 15 in 2 matches, and the first match finished 34-26 to New Zealand, South Africa scoring the last 2 tries. And the following week, South Africa won by 4-24. So that's essentially New Zealand's second 15 being beaten to the tune of 20 points by South Africa.
That's incredible. I hope those sirens in the background aren't for you, Adam. But let's talk about the Black Ferns to date. Of course, 2 wins. They play Ireland this weekend, and only just the one serious injury that's resulted in one of the players' tournament finishing early.
That's a tragedy for Kaipoi Olsen-Baker, who was officially anointed the Black Fern of the Year in 2024. And she was an almost certain pick in 2022. but unfortunately succumbed to injury. Kaipoi Olsen Baker, evidently, product of Manakura, who had that spectacular win over Hamilton Girls High School to win their fourth consecutive Hiniponamu National Top 4 trophy on Sunday. If you get a chance to watch that game on YouTube, do. It's an absolute belter of a game. And another standout in that match was the sister of the All Black halfback, Cortez Ratama, playing number 7 for Hamilton. But I digress. Back to the Black Ferns, and they've had 2 wins so far to start the tournament, 54-8 against Spain and 62-19 against Japan. Both those results were expected, but I guess the next question is, have the performances matched that of the tournament favourites England and indeed met the Black Ferns' own expectations?
Exactly right. It's going to be interesting heading into the final section of this tournament. You've run into a few New Zealanders over there. I believe you ran into one of our favourites on Huddy Sports last week at the Black Ferns game.
John Jackson of Porniki was there. He's with his wife and they're touring and doing some investigation of their family tree. It was a wonderful atmosphere at Sandy Park in Exeter last Sunday. Exeter is in Devon, which is the deep south of England. York is in the far north. So I've been fortunate to experience both sides of the country. In York, as I mentioned, the Black Ferns beat Spain by 54-8. The Spanish were very dogged on defence. They were quite disruptive with the way they approached the game. Nonetheless, the Black Ferns had a good win, and it was highlighted by 2 tries for the sensational Georgia Miller, and there was also 2 tries for Wellington's own Aisha Letiainga, who unfortunately departed early with an injury. And then there was a real moment of joy at the end when Spain rumbled over the line for their first ever try in any rugby at 15-a-side level against New Zealand. And York, very colourful town, lots of cheap bakeries with oversized pastries. It's the home of Guy Fawkes, the great political rebel. And the other thing about York is it's surrounded by the most archaic and ambitious and wonderful English architecture. And the day before the Black Ferns played Spain was a horse race meeting, which predates the Melbourne Cup.
Oh, wow.
And even Queen Camilla was in attendance. I wasn't allowed to go because she was there. But the racing in England really showcases the best and worst of England at the same time. Lots of overwhelmed and underwhelmed spectators milling around, and it really was a hoot of a time.
Oh, certainly. Is this is England going to be too hard to beat at this tournament, or can the Black Ferns win back the World Cup again?
Sorry, I'm just struggling to hear you, Brad.
Oh, sorry. Is this going to be England's World Cup to lose, or will the Black Ferns possibly beat them if they can make the final? Oh, can you hear me, Adam? Looks like we just had a little bit of a audio issue there from Adam's end. Hopefully he can hear us soon. Okay, all right. So it looks like we've lost Adam Julian, but many thanks to hearing from Adam Julian over there in UK, and we will look forward to hearing more about his travels over there. He is calling all the way from the United Kingdom, so that is quite a far way to go. Well, now Huddy Hui tonight. It's great to preview the Women's World Cup, Women's Rugby. Always a joy to cover here on Huddy Sports, and Adam as well. He's the guru of the A to Z of the Black Ferns. He wrote all those on the allblacks.com website. So now Huddy Hui tonight, we're going to catch up with a young man, year 13 student from St. Pat's Silverstream, who set the competition alight, playing hooker, sort of playing a style similar to Dane Coles. I interviewed him in the weekend just been, and he is quite a shy man. His actions are all on the rugby field, but he spoke really well with the interview that we did here in the Huddy studio. So sit back and listen to the interview with F13 and hooker for St. Pat's Silverstream, Riley Browne. He joins us on the Huddy Hui tonight. Here with Riley Browne, the hooker that lit up the scene in the first 15 rugby program here in Wellington. Riley, great to have you on the Huddy Hui. It was a tough semi-final against Hastings. It was a draw, 20-all, but unfortunately Hastings went through because of the first try. How was the feeling after that and the learnings from that semi-final?
It was pretty sad. Would have been good to go play the next week, but we learned to try score at the first try, obviously, instead of taking points. But yeah, that's main learnings.
Let's talk about the actual big one for you this year, which was the ninth final in a row for Silverstream that they've competed in. Back-to-back winners yet again against Wellington College. How did you find being part of a champion Silverstream team for the second year in a row?
Felt good. A lot of brotherhood in the team. Yeah, felt good for all of us to get another one together. The medal.
And what were the messages before kickoff in the final? Because it's a big occasion, you've got a big crowd, you're playing at Jerry Collins Stadium, the home of the Lions and the Pride. What were the messages before the final kicked off?
The coaches told us to just go out and play our games. We were good enough to beat Dubsy. Yeah, and then one of our leaders, Elijah, said if you're not willing to go fight for your brothers, don't even leave the changing room. So that made us all play hard.
That's a great message, and of course, he alongside yourself had a great season as well too. Let's talk about your season. It's been a star season for you. However, you've picked up an injury that has resulted in you not being able to play for the Wellington Centurions. Tell us what happened.
I was at training, went to dive for a try and some touch game and lost the ball, and it landed on my finger funny and it dislocated. Then I went to go get it popped back in by my coach and went. I think it broke then, and went and got it checked that night, and I had 2 or 3 fractures.
Oh, gee. And how long's the recovery for that?
I've been told 6 weeks, but hopefully it recovers quickly, so I can maybe get a few games in for the Centurions.
Yeah, no, breaks are always pretty bad, and hopefully you can bounce back well. Now, one of the other games this year that also was a stellar game was against Wellington College at Wellington College Traditional Day in June. Strong first half, and then Wellington College called their way back into second. How did the team handle the pressure when Wellington College attacked your try line on multiple occasions?
We just trusted our outside man to defend. Yeah, and that worked well. Defended the dude in front of us.
Have you ever played in such terrible weather conditions that day, and also the final as well?
No, I've never played in conditions like that before. The traditional was super muddy, wet, and with our jerseys that day, they were massive, so it was just extra weight when they were soaking. And then in the tradition, the final, super cold, hard to control the ball as well.
Yeah, no, it was freezing cold that day out at Jerry Collins Stadium. First time this year I've had to put gloves on rugby broadcast this year. Who looks after the defence in the team? Because that's been a key strength of Silverstream this year.
Off the field, it's John and Fred. They told us what to do and stuff, and then on the field, it's our halfbacks, Axel Dakin or Blake Miskell.
Axel Dakin, of course, new to the first 15 this year. Tell us about him, because he's been a real asset.
He's good, hard worker, quick, strong, knows the game. It's been good to have him.
Now, it was a good season in Wellington, undefeated. Beforehand, you had a few pre-season games. You went up against the eventual Super 8 champions, Palmerston North Boys High School, narrowly losing to them. What were the learnings from that game heading into the Wellington season?
Learnings were just to grunt up. They came and showed us the strength that they had, and we didn't really bring as much back to them. So taught us to bring more strength and power.
Of course, John Herbert, he has looked after the forwards at the first 15 for a number of years now, with 1 year hiatus 2 years ago to coach the Petone Colts. He's also the coach of the under-18 Centurions as well. What have you learnt from him?
He's helped me with my position, teaching me what to do when we're not in scrums or anything. Then also he's helped me a lot with my scrums, like my posture and all that.
And in particular, John Herbert, he has a fascination for scrums. He studies the opposition's scrums. What are some of the key things he puts forward to you guys at training?
Body height, big one, telling us to just get lower than them, get our distance right.
Now, of course, one of the unique things about First 15 rugby around the country is you get to play at some of the different home grounds. And, of course, one luxury you guys had this year was to play at the Gully, New Plymouth Boys. Tell us about playing at the Gully. What makes it such an intimidating atmosphere? And how is it like playing on an artificial turf?
The artificial turf was painful. Got grazes and everything from it, but during the game you didn't really feel it. And it was cool to play there, but since the bad weather, their school wasn't allowed out, so it wasn't the same atmosphere as I thought it would be.
Have you played there before?
Nah.
And then it's a pretty special occasion. It's like described best as a coliseum, isn't it? You've got everyone standing looking over you. It's a pretty intimidating atmosphere, but a good win that day for the First 15. Each member of the First 15 gets given a number. That was a project done by Mike O'Leary just over a decade ago. What is your Silverstream number, and who is your First 15 debut against, and what year?
My Silverstream number is 183, and my first game was last year, 2024, against Napier in a preseason.
And how many games have you played for the First 15 now that you're about to finish your time at Silverstream?
I've played 21 games.
21 games, that's pretty impressive. And which one of those games was probably your most memorable?
Probably the town game.
Yep. And we'll come back to that. We'll come to that question now about the town game. You were on fire that day out at Traditional Day. Player of the match, as you mentioned, one of your favourite games. Why is that?
Oh, it's just playing in front of the school on TV, having everyone watch, and all the old boys as well. Felt good.
Yep. How many tries did you score that day?
I had 1 try and 1 assist.
That's right. No, pretty impressive game indeed. You really lit up. You're actually playing like a winger that day too, weren't you?
Yeah.
Now, has hooker always been your position of choice?
No, it has not. When I was in juniors, I played in the backs.
Whereabouts in the back line did you play?
Mainly fullback.
Yep.
I went to prop when I started at Stream, moved to hooker.
Why the change from the backs to the front row?
During the period, I put on a bit of weight. Yeah, I moved forward. Yeah. Then I lost some of the weight and got my speed back. So.
Of course, let's talk about the caps. They're all important at boys' First 15 level. Where did you earn your First 15 cap, and who presented it to you?
My mum and dad presented it, and the game I earned it was against Rongotai Traditional.
Is that this year or last year's one?
That was
this year's, yeah. And how special is it to, finally receive that cap, and what does it take to earn a cap at Silverstream?
It's pretty special, and to get your cap at Silverstream, you need 5 traditional starts.
It's fantastic, awesome work. Speak about playing as a hooker. Is there any other hookers you get inspiration from, and why?
Yeah, Safar Moore is one, the Stream old boy. Look up to him, and then also Dan Coles, because I feel like I play a little like him.
No, the way you played against Town that day, you definitely were like Dane Coles as well. Describe your skills as a hooker. What are your strengths?
I feel like my line-out throw is pretty accurate, and then also based on the game plan that I'm on the edge, I feel like my speed and footwork helps with that.
Now, the second 15 has had quite a unique history over the last 5 or so years. They've won that grade for a long time. And you've been part of that team in the past. What makes that team special?
In fact, they're all good enough players to play First 15 at our school or any school. And the fact that they could be a team in the First 15, but in Prem 1 grade, but they're just not allowed.
Were you hoping that the third 15 would have won that final this year against the seconds?
Not really. They would have kind of look bad on us. The third 15 one.
Now, where did your junior rugby begin for you?
That's at Huddy Hui Marist.
Huddy Boys Marist, and was there a family connection with the club?
Yeah, brother, dad, and mum.
Yeah.
Mum works there and dad's played there for many years.
Now, you're year 13 this year. How has your academics been going? And do you have a favourite subject?
Yeah, my favourite subject's PE.
Yep.
And my academic isn't really my strong suit, but
Yep.
Yeah, I'm getting through it.
That's the main thing. And it seems every rugby player tends to like PE, don't they? So, fantastic indeed. Now, how has rugby helped you as an individual?
It's made me work on myself, like my fitness and my strength. Yeah, it makes me feel better.
Any other sports you have played at your time at Silverstream?
Yeah, I played basketball for the first 4 years up until this year, where I stopped playing. Earlier this year, did dragon boating. We won the national title.
It's another one which Silverstream's dominated is the dragon boating for a number of years as well.
Yeah, and then also a bit of touch.
And of course, you mentioned basketball. Good to see the senior A team win at the Wellington final against their city cousins town. How special was that? After 2 years of losing it to Wellington College.
It was kind of quiet on the day. Still a good watch.
What is your best try for Silverstream and why?
I'd probably have to say the one against Town.
Yep.
Broke through the line. Or the one against Rathkill where Fletcher kicked it from about 70 metres back, bounced off the flagpole and stayed in the field, and I just had to dive on it.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that try. I'd love to see if there was any video evidence of that, because that would have been an absolute spectacular one. Now let's talk about the number one field. It's special and unique. What makes it special, and do you still get told off if you step 1 foot on it during the day?
Not really anymore. Mainly something Toby Crosby would do.
Yep.
Yeah, ever since he left, it kind of stopped happening.
Yep. No, you wouldn't mess with Toby Crosby anyway. Besides the number one, what is another first 15 ground you have played at that you found the toughest to play at?
Palmerston North, I'd say. Played there twice last year, first 15, and they always they play so well there. So yeah,
they call it the graveyard. I think we can see why, because it's a pretty heavy field to play on, and they do step up for that. Who has been the biggest influences in your rugby career to date?
Probably my parents. Yeah, influenced me to play, and then coaches and all my friends. A lot of my friends play rugby, so yeah.
And who's been the toughest opponent you've played against, and why?
Probably gonna have to say Palmerston North last year.
Yep.
They were just showed up, very powerful, strong, quick, and everything. So yeah.
Is there one game you've played where you've learnt the most about yourself as a player?
Probably have to say the Town game.
Yep.
Learned that I can use my speed and footwork to get through.
And what other goals do you still want to achieve while you're still able to play rugby?
Try and push as far as I can go. Either Wellington, Hurricanes, maybe even All Blacks.
And of course, you were in the Centurions and hoping to play. Has there been any other representative teams you've made while playing rugby?
Made Hutwelly under 12s a couple of years ago, then under 16s Wellington, which was coached by John Herbert, and then obviously the under 18 Centurions.
Now, what are your plans for the off season? What do you have in store?
I'm going to work on my speed and fitness to play sevens, and then after sevens is done, put weight back on, more strength, and go play for Huddy Boys next year.
And Huddy Boys, you're going to play your footy in 2026, so you're going to be in the Colts program?
Yeah, I'll probably play Colts.
And what are you planning to do after school finishes this year besides rugby?
Probably look into a plumbing apprenticeship next year.
Well, Riley, it's been fantastic having you on. Having watched you this year, you've been in outstanding form, and hopefully you'll go on to higher honours once you finish school and go into senior footy. So many thanks for coming on the Huddy Hui.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
That is Riley Browne, our guest on the Huddy Hui tonight. It was good. He's a young man with a promising talent and one to watch out for in Wellington Colts Rugby next year.
He had a great season for the first 15 for Silverstream, and he's still got some rugby to play. Hopefully he gets over his injury. He might be able to play for the Centurions and also play for the Silverstream Sevens program. So great to catch up with Riley and to review the Silverstream first 15 season. Earlier, you can go back once this live stream has finished to listen to Adam Julian's review of the Women's World Cup to date. He was our guest very early at the start of this Huddy Hui. What are the other games, big games that are on this weekend? The Springboks are playing the All Blacks at Eden Park the first time since 2013. And I'm lucky enough to be going up there this Saturday to watch the game at Eden Park. And that will be an absolute blockbuster. The All Blacks haven't lost at Eden Park since 1994. They lost to the French that day. John Lomu was a young winger in that test series, and France winning at Eden Park. The last time the All Blacks tasted defeat at the Fortress of Eden. So can the Springboks do it? I predicted earlier in the year that they might cause an upset and do it. But when an All Black team loses like they did against Argentina 2 weeks ago, they always know how to bounce back. We're interested to see what the halfbacks will be. I think Finlay Christie will start. Just depends, though, on Cole Preston's injury he might have picked up at training the other day. So I'll be going up to Auckland to watch that test match. It's going to be an absolute beauty. And then I'll be back for the second test in Wellington, so of which one I am working at. So I'll get to experience test rugby in 2 different forms over the next 2 weeks up in Auckland and then in Wellington. So also, this Saturday, we are bringing you a game in partnership with the Avalon Rugby Club. It is the quarterfinal of the National Under-85 competition, and it is the Avalon team up against the High School Old Boys Light Bears from Christchurch. And we covered them last year in the quarterfinal against Old Boys University, the Scallywags, and they, of course, the High School Old Boys Light Bears went on to the final at Sky Stadium, narrowly losing in the last minute to the Pakuranga Panthers. And Avalon this season in the national competition have been going very well, undefeated so far, and earning the right for a home final. But the Light Bears, coached by Pat Cody and co, they will be a tough team to beat. Jared Percival, who's their fly half, was the captain of the inaugural, the Originals, New Zealand Under-85 team that went to Sri Lanka this year. So there'll be a lot of star talent out there at Fraser Park. That game kicks off at 1 o'clock on Huddy Sports, and we'll let you know who our commentary team will be for that game. It won't be me. I'll be in Auckland, but I'll be watching it up there in Auckland as well. So that is the Huddy Hui for tonight. Many thanks to our sponsors, Mike Pinfold Plumbing and Drain Laying Limited, Louise Reddy of New Zealand Travel Brokers, Jen Hickton and Gareth Murphy and the team there, and also to EG Fresh Range Eggs. It's been a pleasure bringing you the Huddy Hui tonight. Many thanks to Adam Julian calling in from the UK, and to Riley Browne for being our guest on the Huddy Hui. We'll be back next week. We've potentially got 2 guests on, but we'll let you know that in due course. So that's the Huddy Hui for tonight. I'm Brad Hudson. Ciao for now.
It's the Huddy Hui. You can find Huddy Sports on Instagram and Facebook. And check out huddysports.co.nz.
Blocked drains, leaky pipes, don't let plumbing problems sideline your day. Call the team, Mike Pinfold Plumbing and Drain Laying Limited. Mike has been our sponsor since the very beginning, from quick fixes to full renovations. He's got the tools, the team, and the know-how to get the job done right. First time, every time. Local, reliable, and always on time. That's how Mike plays the game. Find Mike Pinfold at Pinfold Plumbing at extra.co.nz 027 430 4351. Mike Pinfold Plumbing and Drain Laying Limited. Also Google Mike Pinfold Plumbing and let the pros handle the flow.
Hi, Gavin Murphy here
And Cassie Murphy.
from G and Hickton Funeral Directors.
Don't leave it up to someone else to tell your story. Do it now when you can enjoy being part of the conversation.
With a prepaid funeral, you can have music, readings and venue all chosen by you.
For your free funeral planning pack with everything you need to get started, go to our website at gnhickton.co.nz/pre-planning.
The Huddy Hui, Huddy Sports captivating sports show. The Huddy Hui covers Wellington Club Rugby as well as other sporting topics of debate. Tune in on YouTube during the rugby playing months as host Brad Hudson interviews rugby players and other sporting personalities across the Wellington region and the rest of New Zealand. Catch the Huddy Hui streaming on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, YouTube, and wherever good yarns are heard. The Huddy Hui live on Huddy Sports. Here at Huddy Sports, we love a good game plan. And when it comes to travel, our go-to is Louise Reddy from New Zealand Travel Brokers. Whether it's a sports tour, a family break, or that bucket list trip, she'll get you there stress-free with all the best deals around. She's local, she's experienced, and she backs the game like we do, and she's a great supporter of Huddy Sports. Look up Louise Reddy at louisereddy.nztravelbrokers.co.nz or email louise@louise.reddy@newzealandtravelbrokers.co.nz. Travel smart and travel like a pro. As here on Huddy Sports, we're always wanting to keep our content free on YouTube. So the idea of sponsors, we can promote you on live stream, our social media pages and our website. It's good to support the local community and helps keep Huddy Sport free for all to watch. So if you're interested to helping Huddy Sports, go to huddysports.co.nz or to our email address, huddysportsnz@gmail.com. Ciao for now.